You know that old saying, necessity is the mother of invention? Well, sometimes the most amazing innovations aren't just born from a need, they're forged in the fire of a total, full-blown crisis. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of a travel company that was pushed right to the edge, only to pull off one of the most amazing comebacks, all thanks to AI. So, here's the big question we're tackling in this explainer. How on earth did Lion Travel, a company literally facing collapse, turn a post-pandemic nightmare into a multi-million-dollar opportunity? Well, the answer comes down to one single audacious bet on artificial intelligence. Let's rewind a bit, back to when things were, well, pretty bleak. All right, Section 1, the post-pandemic crisis. You'd think the world reopening would be an amazing cause for celebration for a travel company, right? For Lion Travel, it was the exact opposite. It was a catastrophe waiting to happen. To really get a sense of just how bad things were, you got to look at this number. Before the pandemic, Lion Travel had a team of 800 people. After, that number just cratered to less than 200. Imagine that. You've got this massive wave of people desperate to travel, and you're trying to handle it with a total skeleton crew. The whole thing was just about to snap. And the chaos? It was everywhere. I'm talking 2.5-hour lines just to talk to someone. You had a single email inbox getting slammed with over 100 messages a day and only 2 people to answer them. Delays were piling up. It got so bad they had to shut down their official line chat, which had 2 million followers. The entire system was just completely breaking down. And this is where the general manager, Chang Yachao, says something that I think is so important. She said that for AI to really work, it has to solve a massive pain point. And for them, the pain was existential. This wasn't some fun experiment with new tech. No, this was a do-or-die situation. They literally had nowhere else to turn. So, with their backs completely against the wall, they did something pretty radical. They decided, okay, let's build an AI salesperson from the ground up. And that's where LiLi comes in. Now, you have to understand this right from the get-go. LiLi was not designed to be your friendly neighborhood Q&A bot. Nope. Its entire job, its only reason for existing, was to sell, to make money. It was built from day one to be an intelligent sales agent, period. But here's where things get really smart. They didn't just toss this project over to the IT team. Instead, they started what they called an all-hands movement. They grabbed more than 30 of their top salespeople and put them together with their most experienced customer service folks. You know, the ones who actually know what customers want. They got them all into workshops to hash it out, debate, and even vote on the most critical questions to feed the AI. And just like that, its knowledge base absolutely exploded. Okay, so like in any good movie, the hero's journey is never a straight line, right? And LiLi's story is no exception. The first version, well, it wasn't exactly a hit. Honestly, it was kind of a mess. At first, LiLi was pretty much just a glorified FAQ page. It could answer really basic questions, but that's about it. The results were not great, and you can bet the team was feeling the heat from the higher-ups who were hoping for some kind of magic bullet. And that led to the big pivot, the game-changing moment. They realized LiLi couldn't just be a passive intern. It needed to be a proactive salesperson. So, using some pretty cool tech called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short, they basically plug the AI directly into the company's live, up-to-the-minute inventory. So instead of just answering a question like, "Do you have trips to Japan?" it could now say, "We sure do. In fact, here are 3 tours with open spots leaving next month. Want me to show you?" See the difference? Total game changer. And this new setup was incredibly efficient. Suddenly, LiLi was handling a whopping 60% of all those repetitive, boring questions. And that freed up the human experts to deal with the other 40%. You know, the tricky, complex stuff, where a human touch really matters. So that one change didn't just solve their problem. Oh no, it created a $1 million chatbot. The AI intern was about to become a total superstar. And the results? Well, they were just jaw-dropping. Just look at this number. That's 30 million new Taiwan dollars, which is about $1 million US. And get this, after about a year of tweaking and improving, that's how much revenue LiLi started bringing in every single month. Unreal. To put that into perspective for you, LiLi was doing the work of 5 or 6 of their best, most senior human travel agents, combined, all by itself. It basically became one of their top employees, and it never sleeps. It's working 24/7.
And there's this one story from the GM that just perfectly captures the magic here. Picture this. It's late at night, everyone's gone home, a customer is just browsing online. They start chatting with LiLi, and before you know it, they've booked a Northern Lights tour for over $1 million NT. That's over 30 grand, and they even upgraded to business class. That's a huge sale that, before LiLi, would have just disappeared into thin air.
But this story isn't just about the money, as crazy as those numbers are. The real change went way deeper. It was about the company's culture, the customers they were reaching. It was about humanity being amplified by AI. And one of the biggest surprises? The people who were using LiLi. Turns out, the average customer booking through the AI was 15 years younger than their typical customer. 15 years! LiLi had accidentally cracked open a whole new market for them. And the unexpected wins just kept piling up. They were finally reaching those digital natives. The team started calling LiLi the savior for introverts, for all those people who would much rather text than call. And all of a sudden, 16% of their business was coming in after hours, at night. But maybe the biggest change of all? Lion Travel wasn't just a travel agency anymore. They were now a tech travel company. And this final quote from the GM really sums up their whole philosophy. The goal was never to replace people. It was to let the AI handle all the boring, repetitive stuff so that the human team could focus on what they do best, providing that real care, that warmth, and that expert advice that only a person can give. So when you look at the whole story, it's pretty clear, right? This isn't about AI coming for our jobs. It's about a tool that can unleash our potential, letting us zero in on the stuff that makes us uniquely human. And that really just leaves one question for all of us to think about. What's the biggest, most annoying pain point in your world? And what would it look like to unleash an AI to solve it for you?